Hi, I'm Dr. Deb. Some students are unclear about what goes into introductions and conclusions. Expert communicators use a simple formula to get their message across. Tell them what you're going to tell them, then tell them what you told them. So for my introduction to this lesson, let me tell you what I'm going to tell you. This lesson will teach you how to write a strong introduction and conclusion for your case study. I will tell you what information to include, show you strong and weak examples, guide you in writing your own introduction and conclusion, and give you a checklist and rubric to make sure you do a good job. Your introduction must do 5 things. 1, introduce your focus child using a pseudonym. 2, provide relevant background information about your focus child's current functioning across home and school contexts. 3, preview how developmental theories inform your understanding of your focus child's growth and relationships. 4, explain how educational psychology theories help analyze your focus child's learning processes and academic achievement. And 5, outline how the 3 parts, development, learning, and strategies, will connect to create a comprehensive understanding of the child. Next, we'll look at some examples of strong and weak introductions. Here's an example of a strong introduction. I'll read it for you. Sarah, pseudonym, is an 8-year-old girl who attends 2nd grade at Riverside Elementary, where she exhibits strong verbal skills but struggles with sustained attention during mathematical activities. This case study examines her development and current functioning through multiple theoretical perspectives. The analysis consists of 3 parts. The development section employs Bronfenbrenner's bioecological theory to analyze her environmental contexts, and Erikson's psychosocial theory to understand her social-emotional growth. The learning section examines her academic engagement through educational psychology frameworks, focusing on information processing and cognitive load theories. Finally, the strategies section integrates these perspectives to implement research-based interventions that support Sarah's development across all domains. Here's an example of a weak introduction. This paper is about a child I observed named S. She is 8 years old and goes to elementary school. I will talk about her development, learning, and some strategies to help her. She is good at some things, but needs help with others. I used some theories to understand her better. This guided writing exercise will help you write your own strong introduction. For your opening sentence, you will give key details about your focus child and their context. Include their age, grade, pseudonym, and key characteristics. Describe their current functioning across different contexts. If your focus child is an 8-year-old girl whose pseudonym is Sarah, you might start like this. Sarah, pseudonym, is an 8-year-old girl who attends 2nd grade at Riverside Elementary, where she exhibits strong verbal skills but struggles with sustained attention during mathematical activities. The second step is to write about your case study's theoretical framework. Connect developmental theories to your focus child's growth patterns, and link educational psychology theories to your focus child's current functioning. You might start with something like this. This case study examines Sarah's development and learning through ... Then talk about the theories you chose. Step 3 is to preview the 3 parts of your case study. Development, which developmental theories inform your understanding. Learning, which educational psychology theories explain your focused child's current functioning. And strategies, how will you integrate both perspectives for intervention? Before you hit submit, use this checklist. Your focused child's pseudonym and relevant details are included. At least 2 theoretical frameworks are named. There's a clear preview of all 3 sections. There's a logical flow between ideas. You're using a professional academic tone. There are no unnecessary details. Privacy is maintained. Specific examples or observations are mentioned, and there's a clear connection between theory and observation. Now let's talk about your conclusion. This is where you tell them what you told them. Your conclusion has 4 components. 1, synthesize key findings from all 3 sections. 2, connect theoretical insights to practical observations. 3, present research-based recommendations. And 4, reflect on limitations and future considerations. Now we'll look at some examples of strong and weak conclusions. Here's an example of a strong conclusion. I'll read it for you. This case study of Sarah reveals the complex interplay between developmental contexts and learning processes. Bronfenbrenner's bioecological theory illuminated how her home and school environments interact to influence her development, while Erickson's framework helped elucidate her growing sense of competence. Educational psychology theories explained her attention patterns and mathematical learning challenges. The research-based strategies implemented, particularly scaffolded instruction and self-regulated learning techniques, have shown promising results in supporting her academic engagement. Moving forward, continued collaboration between home and school contexts will be essential to maintain Sarah's progress, with special attention to developing her mathematical confidence while building on her verbal strengths. Here's an example of a weak conclusion. S has many strengths and weaknesses. I use different theories to understand her better. Some strategies worked well. She needs more help with math, but is good at reading. Maybe these ideas will help her do better in school. Once again, writing your conclusion is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Are you ready? Step 1, write a synthesis statement. Connect developmental theories to observed patterns and link educational psychology frameworks to learning outcomes. You might start with, this case study of Sarah demonstrates ... Step 2, describe evidence-based outcomes. Describe the effectiveness of the strategies you implemented with your focused child. Connect your interventions to the theoretical frameworks you chose. You might start with something like, the research-based strategies implemented ... Step 3, discuss future directions. Recommend ongoing support approaches, address continuing needs, and suggest collaborative strategies. You might start with something like moving forward, ... Before you hit submit, use this checklist. All 3 sections synthesized, theoretical frameworks referenced, research-based strategies evaluated, specific examples included, future recommendations provided, evidence of effectiveness discussed, practical implications addressed, professional tone maintained, privacy considerations respected, and a clear path forward outlined. I'm always trying something new. Maybe it's because I score high on the Ocean personality trait of openness. The important thing about trying new things is that you can't be afraid to fail. My motto is, if you never fail, you're not challenging yourself enough. So this may not work. I have instructed Canvas to assign 1 student for each of you to evaluate. It's anonymous, so you shouldn't know who is evaluating you. Let me know how this works. I always use a rubric for grading an assignment. That way, you know what the expectations are, and I can grade you more fairly. The introduction rubric has 3 criteria with 3 points each. I'll read them for you. Clarity and context. Is the child's situation clearly presented? Are relevant details included? Are privacy considerations addressed? Theoretical integration. Are theories explicitly named? Is their relevance explained? Do they align with the child's age and situation? Structure and flow. Are all 3 parts previewed? Do the sections logically connect? Is the writing concise yet informative? The conclusion rubric also has 3 parts. I'll read them for you. Synthesis and integration. Are findings from all 3 sections connected? Is theoretical understanding linked to practical outcomes? Are research-based strategies evaluated effectively? Evidence and support. Are conclusions supported by observations? Is the effectiveness of interventions clearly described? Are recommendations grounded in research? Clarity and completeness. Is the conclusion well organized? Are future directions clearly articulated? Is the tone professional and optimistic? For my conclusion to this lesson, let me tell you what I told you. I told you how to write a strong introduction and conclusion for your case study. I explained what information to include. I gave you strong examples and weak examples. I engaged you in a guided writing activity with sentence starters. I gave you an opportunity to evaluate a peer's introduction and conclusion to deepen your understanding. And I gave you the opportunity to get feedback from a peer about your own work. Now you are ready to paste your introduction and conclusion into your case study document and submit your final case study to Canvas in a separate assignment.